Why has Pixar's reputation and their perception with the public dropped off in recent years? Pixar single-handedly revolutionized the entire medium of animation, and while they still consistently put out beautifully animated and emotional original stories, Pixar's name has sort of taken a beating in recent years. I don't think there is a single cause for this, but I think that there are three big reasons that have contributed to it. Reason number one is the 2018 release of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This was not the first animated film that experimented using 2D techniques in 3D animation, but it was definitely the first mainstream film to do this. And ever since then, people have been clamoring for more animated films with a unique textured style to it. And Sony, DreamWorks, and Paramount followed this trend, and audiences ate it up no matter how good it was. Because apparently, I seem to be the only person willing to point out that Mutant Mayhem, while they did do something new, still looks absolutely atrocious. Now, Pixar has been experimenting with new styles in that time. Luca was animated to resemble claymation, Turning Red had anime influences, and Elemental had groundbreaking effects that allowed them to have characters made of fire. But none of those are 3D that looks like 2D, so people just brush it off. Reason number two, and this really applies to just all modern cinema, is the rise of amateur movie analysis on YouTube and social media. 30 years ago, if you wanted to be a movie critic, you would have to work in journalism for years to maybe be lucky enough to have your reviews printed in a newspaper. Now, anyone with an internet connection and a free Letterboxd account can have thousands of people see their opinions of a movie. And now we are seeing that regardless of background, knowledge, or experience, anyone with the right charisma can make a YouTube video improperly or unfairly reviewing a movie, and millions of people will see it and treat it as legitimate criticism. Obviously, these kind of reviewers and analysts have been around for a while, but they really grew in popularity during the pandemic, and now hundreds, if not thousands of people are making a full-time living off of complaining about movies on the internet. And unfortunately, the videos that tend to do the best are the negative ones. People love drama, people love seeing other people angry, and so those get the views and the clicks, and that's what pays the bills. And so many creators have made it their entire personality to just bash on anything new and talk about the decline of cinema, regardless of if that's actually how they feel or if any of that criticism is valid. Pixar have been such a common target because millennials have a lot of nostalgia for their early films, and now that more animation studios are now competing with them, it's easy for people to want to compare Pixar's new films to their old films, and they'll find any excuses to find faults in these new films. And that toxicity has massive ripple effects across the internet because you'll see everyday people parroting the same criticisms and talking points, regardless of if they're relevant or if they even know what they mean. The best example of this is everyone's talking about the Cal art style of modern Pixar, even though most people don't even know what that means or where the term came from. But the third and easily biggest reason for Pixar's decline is Disney's total disrespect for Pixar and the damage they've done to their brand over the past 5 years. Disney claims that Luca and Turning Red went straight to Disney Plus because of the pandemic, but they released their own animated films in theaters 3 months prior to each of those. Meanwhile, 2021 is when the streaming wars were really ramping up and Disney Plus was facing a lot more competition, and they needed more premium content to entice their subscribers, and Pixar basically became pawns in a war that Disney is losing, and they cheapened Pixar's name all the while. Then when Pixar did get theatrical releases, Disney did a terrible job marketing them. The trailers and advertisements for Elemental did a terrible job selling the film's unique and emotional aspects, and Elio's marketing was so skimpy that there are still people who didn't even know that it released already. Millions of people have seen the bootleg footage of the lizard that was the post-credit scene of Elio and have no idea that it's actually a teaser for Pixar's upcoming film. It really feels like Disney is just holding Pixar back, and it's just heartbreaking for me as a lifelong Pixar fan. There's obviously a lot more at play as to why Pixar's brand is so damaged, and I could easily go on and expand on any of this. But the point I'm trying to make is that Pixar's new films are no worse than they were 15 years ago, and there's just been so much recently that has been causing everyday people to just hate on Pixar, even when it is completely unfair or undeserved.